Alright, so today's video is going to be a little bit of a get to know me kind of video. I'm going to be talking about how Toy Biz really changed how I view action figures these days. Needless to say, if you were around in the early 2000s collecting, this was like the premier action figure on the shelf. Like, there wasn't really too many. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was a lot of dope toys at that time, but this changed everything, and I know today a lot of people like to make their little memes and they always show the most craziest, wonkiest Toy Biz figure they can find, and they're like, oh, see, look, this is how far Marvel Legends is way better than Toy Biz. Guys, this was early 2000s. Hasbro should be, but the question is, are they? And what made me want to make this video is because I know that most Marvel Legend collectors don't have Toy Biz figures in their collections at all. Matter of fact, they may not even been around when Toy Biz was a thing. So I'm willing to bet some of these people don't even know what you're talking. If you make a video talking about Toy Biz like I'm trying to do here, they probably don't even know. But the point of this video is to show you how Hasbro has basically reduced what Marvel Legends used to be. And call this a beat up video if you like. That's your prerogative. But that's not really what this is. This is just much more of a, this isn't what you think it is. So, going back to the Toy Biz figure. I don't know if it's going to show up well on here. By the way, this is Black Panther for those of you that don't know. But this figure, I got this figure. This figure has to be more than, I know it's more than, oh man, I don't know. It has to be, and this figure might possibly be like 20 years old. Like, honestly, like, or close to it. And, yeah, I mean, this figure, I've had this, it's been played with, it's been in a toy box, and it's still tight. I can still articulate it, Of course, I'm gonna be a little bit more careful because of its age, but I remember asking my mom for this toy. We was in a Walmart, I'm going through the articulation just to kind of give you guys an idea of what you were dealing with. Like I said, I remember asking for this toy at Walmart. It was early in the morning. I think I was getting ready to go on a school field trip or something. And I was supposed to get a fishing rod, which I did get the fishing rod. But I remember just seeing this on the shelf and just being like, whoa, and I was blown away. I mean, hold on, y'all. Like I said, you gotta remember this toy is old, but like I said, everything's still tight. It had individual fingers. Like, Toy Biz was doing crazy work, as the kids say. Wrist swivel, like, you had your ab crunch. You got your swivel right there. Your neck was on a ball joint. As you can see, the articulation there. So you can look up and down. Yeah, you didn't get much attitude out of them, but hey, this figure, for what it was back then, this was crazy. There's a purple accent. So this figure isn't just black. Like, there's a purple, like, it's a purple shading to it too. Like, oh man, this figure just brings back so many memories. Like, look at that sculpted detail in the cape. You know, matter of fact, let's just bring this up for a second. Look at all that sculpted detail. This wasn't just a flat plastic action figure buck. You know, like you could pop this off and you could remove the cape. You know, nice, simple, and easy. You know, and again, look at that. Had a hole. What do you think that's for? You know, you can plug it into something, you know, plug it into a base or something. But look at the proportions. Look at the comic book like proportions. And this is what's missing from Marvel Legends today. Am I trying to say that this figure is perfect? No. But for what it was at the time, this figure was crazy. Like, there was nothing else like it. I mean, yeah, the Japanese were hard at work on what they were doing over there, but I mean, look at that. See if I can get him to stand. You know, like I said, individual fingers. You know, you know, like this figure has so much articulation, and it was so ahead of its time. It is crazy. And I'm going to put him back here for now. And I'm going to bring up this recent Wolverine from the Deadpool film. I bought this figure, seen it at GameStop, and I said, you know what? Screw it. I'll pick it up. And upon taking it out of the box, I just realized while there's some things they did that's pretty good, like for example, they put ratcheting joints in the arms. That's great. This has ratcheting joints though. This has ratcheting joints. Oh man, which is great. But I realized something. And I said, okay, here's a butterfly. Look at, you know, they put some sculpted detail, but the only reason why it exists is because this is a movie product. They have to put that kind of detail in there. But when you're talking about comic book product, they don't do all of that. You know, you get a flat piece of plastic, you know, and I'm sorry, y'all, but I have to bring him out, you know. But here's Spider-Man. Look at him. He's just flat all around. There's no sculpted detail, really. You know, emphasizing that he's a person in a suit. It's skin tight. Like, be honest, y'all. Your muscles would not show if you were this skin. Like, come on. You know, like, they try to emulate what has already been done, but they do it in the worst ways. And to make a more better argument, I guess, is while this is good as far as like sculpted detail, the overall like anatomy of the figure takes a toll. Like, y'all always talking about McFarlane diapers. This looks like a diaper. Look at that. Does that look good? Hey, you guys are talking about SHF. What is this? You know, that doesn't look good. Look at that. He can't even get his legs up all the way. So I don't understand why people are championing. Like, look at that. That leg is way too short. You know, like, not to mention he's missing paint because by this point in time, he was dirty in the film, right? But anyway, I'm not talking about the Deadpool movie. But my point is that this figure isn't doing anything that hasn't already been done. Again, look at the sculpted detail. You know, like, they weren't just putting out toys then. They were putting out pieces to the best of their ability, right? Because it's not perfect. But again, let me see if I can get this to show. Sculpted detail in the boots. Look at that. Toe articulation. You know, there goes that swivel that a lot of you guys like. You know, you had articulation points up here. It's night and day, really, as far as the overall look, I guess. But when you're talking about execution, this guy looks like he's about to tear somebody apart. This guy looks like he's cosplaying. You know, like this. Look how boxy he looks. He does not look like someone who works out and has superpowers. He looks like SpongeBob. Shout out Mark Cosplay. Like, look at this guy. Does this guy look like he's that much of a threat? No. Now look at this guy. Who are you going to be more concerned with? This dude or this dude? I mean, you know, I'm not trying to be mean here. I'm just saying that Hasbro took this license and butchered it. You know, they reduced the product. And now they're selling it back to you. All the articulation points that it had already. Excuse me, y'all. He decided he didn't want to stand anymore. But all the articulation points that Marvel Legends once had, they're now selling it back to you as a premium. We put new articulation. Here's the toe. You know, we put new articulation. Here's the butterfly. It already had that. It already had that back in the early 2000s. Why are we so impressed with what Hasbro's doing when clearly we know what's up? But then again, this may be a case of older collector. I guess you can say older collectorism. You know, I've been doing this for a while. Now, I'm not as old as some, but I've been doing this for a while. Yes, there are some things that Marvel Legends has taken on, like, for example, the diaphragm joint. That's a great point of articulation. It's way better than the freaking ab crunch, even though they still use it to this day. And again, that's this figure. This figure doesn't have none of that. This just came out. All it has is this ab crunch. Look what happens when you try to, look at that rubbery joints. Like, you can't make this stuff up, you know. Yeah, I'm not saying that this figure, it has a lot of paint deco on it. I'm actually surprised by how much paint deco this figure has, which is a good thing. So that the good on Hasbro. You know, they even got the rivets and stuff like that. But look at what I have to do to try and get this. There we go. And even though I did that, he can't even get his head up high enough to look up. You know, like, I don't know what else to say. Because these days, you know, if you point out something about Hasbro, they're just going to call you a hater. You know, they're not going to argue any real points. They're just going to call you a hater. I'm hating because I'm pointing out that Toy Biz literally did this 20 years ago. You know, again, superhero proportions. I'm not looking for an anatomically correct character when I'm buying comic book characters. I want those ridiculous muscles and traps and all of that crap. I want that. You know, that's what makes a superhero. I don't want this. You know, don't get me wrong. This is fine for what it is, and the only reason why I give this a pass is because it's Spider-Man. Spider-Man isn't exactly super duper muscular, but hold on, wait a second. We've all seen Spider-Man drawn up this way, right? So to me, even though this doesn't look bad, this is just an excuse for them to use the same bucks over and over and over again. You've received this toy a dozen times already. At this point, you're just buying it again because, oh, it has new toes. They put toe articulation. All right, mark the price up $50. You know, like, it goes without being said. I can show you another figure with superhero proportions. Here's McFarlane's Wildcat. Superhero proportions. He looks like somebody who's strong. He looks like he can lift weights. He looks like, you know, look at this guy. And let's compare him to Spider-Man here. Do you see the difference? You know, and I know some of you are going to be crazy about, it's pinless. It's pinless. I don't care about those pins, man. That pins means nothing to me. Like, look at there's no shaded detail. There's nothing here. There's no like bunches where the suit would bunch up, because this is supposed to be a guy in a suit. There's nothing that emphasizes that. Look at this. Look at that. He made sure to put like little bunch ups by the knees so that it emphasizes that he's wearing a suit. You know, boots. You know, again, there's something there that emphasizes that this is a suit. You know, you got a line going down the side of it that emphasizes again that this is a person in a suit. You know, you know, where is it? Oh, look, it's on his butt. It's literally, that's it. That's the only way you know that this is a dude in a suit, because his cheeks is making his suit wrinkly a little bit. You know, like his spider cheeks. So again, look at this. Look at all that sculpted detail. All that sculpted detail going on. You know, look at the gold, by the way. You know, again, this was a figure that's almost 20 years old, if it ain't 20 years old. I don't know, y'all. Again, I know people out there that are super duper Marvel Legend collectors that don't own any Toy Biz Marvel Legends. You're just hating. You're hating on Marvel Legends. You're hating on Hasbro. No, that's not what's happening here. I'm just asking for the product I used to get. How about that? How about that? Is that better? Hey Hasbro, can I get the product we used to get instead of this crap? I don't want you just to paint the freaking lines on here. I want some sculpt. Is that too much to ask for? I think it is now. I think it is too. Can I get individual fingers again? How about that? And you guys are always talking about the articulation, the amazing articulation. How about we get individual fingers again? How about that? Bring that back, Hasbro. Huh? Look at that. Toe articulation. Oh my God, that's new. This must have came out in 2024. No. You know, like, anyway. So, I just wanted to make this video to kind of emphasize that. I don't plan on doing too many more Marvel Legend Hasbro videos because, honestly, I'm not in a place, and Black Panther fell, I'm not in a place anymore where I feel like beating up on toys. You know, at the end of the day, we're supposed to enjoy them. I did pick this up too. While I like it, I like that they made the wings a lot better. I hate that, one, we can't get a solid Anthony Mackie face to save our lives. We get this generic plasticky face. Meanwhile, you know, Hugh Jackman, look at that. Look at that head sculpt. That is great, Hasbro. But what happened here? Inconsistent, to say the least. So, I might do a review for this Captain America. Again, mind you, Wolverine had butterflies built in. They built that into the sculpt. You know, sorry for shaking the camera, y'all. But look at that. That's nice. I like that a lot. You know, why didn't he get that? This is the dude that has to do a whole lot of aerial motions. Like, he's literally fighting in the air. He should have a lot of articulation. No ankle swivel. You know, you know, the plastic is tough as all get out because it's rubbery. You know, I can't even, look at this. I can't even move the freaking foot. There we go. Like, I don't know what else to say without sounding like a hater. So, all I'm going to say is this. Hasbro, all I'm asking for is for you to go back to the roots. Go back to the roots of Marvel Legends. Go back to what made them great. Make Marvel Legends great again.